I walked into a Bay West theater on December 23rd, 2021 at exactly 1 p.m. with my best friend and a couple of his other friends, and we proceeded to watch a movie that would forever change my brain chemistry from then forward. I'm talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm not going to be talking about the movie itself, but I did want to talk about one of the characters who was in that movie, which, upon my rewatch of the rest of the films in the franchise, along with Spectacular Spider-Man and consuming a lot of the comics that I could get my hands on, quickly became my favorite. Doc Ock, Dr. Octopus, Otto Gunther Octavius. Yes, that is his full name, and I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be German, which is only pretty much in the 90s show. I cannot talk enough about this character, but there is one aspect I wanted to focus on that I feel that I'd be able to get the best insight on as an artist. That is his character design. I mean, it's Doc Ock. He's got probably one of the most famous silhouettes of any comic book villain ever. But his look has changed a lot throughout the years, so I'm gonna be looking at a bunch of them. Not every single one, because I mean, I'd be here for the next 2 billion years in my editing room, talking just generally about a lot of the most notable designs, as well as a few more obscure ones. And then, at the end of it, after I give my thoughts on them, I'm gonna be ranking them. This is not a definitive ranking of how they're written or anything, or just the way that they're presented. This is just purely from a looks standpoint. So, please don't take it personally if I might be dissing on your favorite version of the character. Alright, let's jump on in. This is the good, the bad, and the cephalopod. Okay, first up, we've got his OG look, which is this white jumpsuit, I want to say. It's simple. He has his titties out in the alternate version, which I guess that's just part of every single iteration of his character. I'm getting demonetized. I don't really have much to say about it, as it's, you know, there's not much going on. It does fit well with the whole scientist theme they have. Also, why is his last name spelled Octavius? The harness confuses me, like, bro, how the hell do you bend down and tie your shoelaces or shit? The way he walks is funny, like, why are you walking like that though? But it is setting some good groundwork for the future. The weird thing here is that it's green on the cover, but it's white in the comic itself. The arms are pretty funky, I like them. Next one we got the Spider-Man Unmasked era, which is like the green jumpsuit thingy. Not much changed, it doesn't 100% work for me, just the color of like the hair and boots just don't 100% go well with the green here. It kinda looks like pajamas. I simplified the arms a little bit here, it's lacking the little circle details. He's dramatic as heck. These boots were made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. I apologize for my absolutely horrendous singing. Next up we got the 60s show, like also in the Sinister Six comic, he's got this purple jumpsuit. Wow, this man really likes his jumpsuits. A bit of an odd choice to put him in purple. I like that the arms are like really wiggly like spaghetti in like the show. This man is a straight up menace. Again, not really much here to say. A lot of these early designs are just recolors of the same thing. Man, is this Marvel or Funko? Next one we got the classic look, that green and yellow spandex. Now we're talking! This is iconic for a reason. It varies a lot depending on who's drawing it, and it can either work really well or not at all. Not my favorite, but sometimes it's used well. It's a little cheesy in all honesty, but I have grown really fond of certain versions of it, and it leads to a lot of interesting future variations. It also breaks up the purple and green theme of a lot of other Spidey villains, so that's neat. The first one we got up is the 90s era kind of variant of that green and yellow, which is bulky. What the hell? He's like that meme that's like, welcome to Starbucks. It's a lot of smaller details on it, which is really nice, but why is he buff? The man's been hitting the gym! It's there, I guess. His hair kind of looks like a donut. It could have been improved with triangular shades if they were going for that very menacing kind of feel. Second green and yellow variant from like the Clone Saga, if I remember correctly. No, not that Clone Saga, the other one where Otto got cloned after the Superior era. This one haunts my nightmares. It looks like a swimsuit from like the 60s. It's kind of uncomfortable instead of being intimidating. Next up we got Lady Octopus. Okay, this one also, just like the classic design, can work really well, or sometimes it's just, I'm saying this as a woman myself, sometimes it's just weird. She's alright overall. I'd have to say that my favorite one is the one from Spidey and His Amazing Friends. I just like that one's design the most. Yes, I know it's a show for little kids, shush. She's very shiny. Next up we got the white suit. I do not care that this is impractical. Oh my god! Oh my gosh, I'm such a simp. Drip, drip. This is drip. This is peak drip. No wonder he got a girlfriend with that look, like my gosh. I guess you could say that it suits the character's personality very well. It's brown sometimes, but it's usually white. I guess it just depends on who's drawing. It gives him a very different look than the typical Spidey villain, which I appreciate. I have a couple wastebaskets here, and the first one is the trench coats, which is very much post-2004, and the movie's influence was strong. They're usually very snazzy and help give them a mysterious feel, and it's usually combined with the suit look, which is why I put it here. Very gangsta. The arms are usually movie-inspired too for these designs. Very much make or break depending on the face. I think the most recent example of a trench coat design is from the current Deadpool comics at the time of me writing and recording this. I also have a little bit of another wastebasket here, just like the trench coats that I mentioned earlier. It's another variation of the classic green spandex look where they end up replacing the yellow with black. I've seen this pop up a lot and is actually part of the latest Doc Ock design from the mainline Amazing Spider-Man comics, so I thought I'd have to bring it up here as I see it come up very often. Overall, I actually quite like them. Just like the normal one, it can vary a lot with certain details, but it can be used well and make for some pretty quirky designs. After this, we have the Spectacular Spider-Man comics. Okay, yes, blue dabba-dee-dabba-die. I like the black kind of... I don't know what kind of coat this is, but it's very cool. I like that. Also, sometimes it's green, and sometimes he's drawn with a mullet. This was the 2000s. Man's built more square than Carl from Up. I like that the arms have like the little sucker thingies, like an actual octopus. That's neat, but that's pretty much, unfortunately, the only thing that this design has going for it. Next up, we got Spectacular, the Marshmallow Boy. It's a great mix of film and comic influence here, both pre and post-accident. He is the boy ever. He is the guy I love him. Very unique designs for the arms, and it's a very bold move making them all black. I like how glowy they are. This man, very shape. I love he. The design fits the voice acting very well. I'm sad the show got cancelled. Oh, I got it. Treachery! Then we got the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. This is a very slick version of the classic look, and certain looks that he has throughout the comics have grown on me. It just, overall though, it's nothing too special. The arms are really the only standout part of this design, and even then, that's only sometimes when they're drawn. For the most part, they're just pretty standard. The accident causing him eye damage to result in him wearing the shades is actually a neat idea. Like, that's clever. Then we got Ultimate Spider-Man the show. This man is a sewer rat. I know this design has its fans, but I'm not one of them. Actually, most of the designs from that show are weird. He also becomes a beetle at one point, which is very out of left field. It just feels to me like that they wanted to be different for different sake. Also later in the show got replaced by another design, which is one of the cases of the classic design just not working. Why do people keep making him buff? Like, what the heck? Next up we got the Insomniac game from 2018. As my friend Willem described him, he's scrunkly in an old person way, and I feel like that's the best way to put him. Very unique interpretation. They went for the kind of almost spandex-like suit look, but instead of green and yellow, it's green and black with some smaller details. I think the only thing I'm not really fond of in this design are the arms. Like, why are they spiky? It also kind of looks odd when there's 4 claws on Doc Ock designs. There's very few that pull it off, and we're gonna get to one of those later. It's not a bad design, it's just, it's not for me. Sorry, William, I know you love this guy. Marvel Spider-Man, the college boy. Very interesting ideas on display. The initial design before the whole villainy arc isn't too bad. Oh, it gets worse. Bro, what is your head? What is this? The arms are nice at least, but it does have a bit of a weird color scheme. Right, now we get to this one. Bro looks like he's about to fight Brendan Fraser. Listen, I know what they were going for, but I just don't like this design. The octopus thingies are neat, though. They're kind of cute if they didn't hijack your brain. You know what? He kind of looks like that granny from SpongeBob that started talking about the chocolate back in her day. Then after that, it goes into this design. Bruh. It fits with the idea. It's just straying way too far away from the core concept of Doc Ock. The arms in particular are just weird. I do not like these arms. This looks like something Dr. Robotnik will cook up in his basement after having one too many. If they wanted to go for the Octomech design, they should have just committed to it and not had what this is. Then we get to the design from Doc Ock Year 1. Okay, there's a lot of different looks in this one, but I decided to just bundle it all together because it does technically fall under one little roof here. I like his little scientist look. Bro, why is he almost naked in this one? The bandaged up look is actually kind of cool. There's really well done ideas on display here, showing a mix between a lot of Ock's early designs and a more modern style. This boy, he can do no wrong. Hi, Editing Kiwi here. I just finished reading through it, and it might legitimately be one of the most heartbreaking pieces of fiction I have ever experienced. We've got the Raimi / No Way Home ones.
Oh my god, it's Alfred Molina.
Wow, okay, now this is how you reinvent a comic design for the big screen. Arms are peak and real, and I'm actually making them out of EVA foam right now. Good subtle incorporation of the OG green theme into the coat. Yeah, it looks brown sometimes, but it was actually green, as you can see by the photos I just put up on screen. They did actually end up simplifying things like the harness and the arms for No Way Home. The only reason I noticed that is because of my powerful tism. Personally, I don't like the red they added to the arms in No Way Home, but that's more of a nitpick than anything else. It's still pretty good. There's not really that much I can say, actually. It's just overall fantastic adaptation. That, and I actually have to save a few points for when I do the video talking about Spider-Man 2. Then we got Spider-Verse. Absolutely banger design that fits in well with the style of the movie. Funny little story, she looks like my science teacher, Miss Aurora. Very cool take on the arms that actually makes the 4 claws work, and they're actually based on current robotic science. That's actually really neat. Also, her beehive hairstyle reflects the actual body of an octopus. The design team for this movie really knew what they were doing for it and its sequel. Segueing from that, now we have the Multiverse Lightning Round! Bishop Octopus, the Cleric of Calamari. One of the few designs that actually makes the purple work. This is understandable, I mean his design is an homage to Ursula from Disney's Little Mermaid, but it's very well with the setting. It's not my favorite, but it's still very, very fun, and I definitely gotta draw it. Spider-Ham Comics. It's absolutely ridiculous in a good way. Bro looks like he's about to tell me about the Jellicle cats, not gonna lie. Baron Victor Octavius. Part of a subgenre I've noticed of Doc Ock designs where they take the octopus part literally. It's definitely not gonna be everybody's favorite, but it sure is something. Death Valley Doc Ock. He looks like he walked out of Shanghai Noon. Doc Glock. Spider-Verse Volume 1. Steampunk enjoyers, this is the Doc Ock for you. General concept is actually very neat, but it's maybe not executed to its full potential. Also, he's just literally Walter White. The Octopals! This is just me and my friends in Discord. It's an intentionally silly parody concept of fitting designs to boot. This one just strapped an actual octopus to his back. We gotta respect him for that. Alrighty, this is the time y'all been waiting for. We get to the ranking itself. I actually had my friend Will actually accompany me for this while I was writing down these rankings, so thank you, Will. It was a lot of fun doing that with you. The original look, I'm gonna put that in C. The green jumpsuit look is very similar, but I do like it slightly more, so high C. Purple jumpsuit's also another C. I'm gonna have to put the classic look in B. I'm gonna put the 90s era in low B tier. Second green variation, that's gonna be D tier. Lady Octopus is gonna get a high B. We love you, Carolyn. Fancy Nancy white suit, S tier. Woo! Our little wastebasket of trench coats is a good A tier. The Spectacular, my boy, he's getting a high A. I'm gonna have to give the Spectacular Spider-Man comics probably a high D. Not the best. The Ultimate Spider-Man comics overall also gonna go in D tier, just a bit lower. Ultimate Spider-Man show. Sorry, Ultimate Spider-Man fans, it's also going in D. Insomniac game. Well, you're gonna hate me for this, but low B tier. Marvel Spider-Man. The initial design I'd say is a C tier, but later moves down to D. It gets worse. Shriveled up Mummy Man's getting another low D tier. Big Ass Mech is our lowest at A tier. I'm going to give an S for Spider-Man 2 and a pretty good A for No Way Home. Spider-Verse is getting an instant S tier. I mean, come on! Doc Ock Year 1, 2 main designs from that are going to be both a B and A tier. They're just good. The Bishop Octopus is getting a B for Bishop. Spider-Verse, I absolutely love this one, so high B. Baron Victor Octavius, it's there, it's a D tier. Death Valley is a C tier, it's just there. Jesse, we need to cook in C tier. I think I'm gonna put Silk's Doc Ock in B tier. Not my favorite, but it's pretty good actually. And finally, the Octopals getting a high C. And now, through the power of editing to make this look a bit more presentable, whoosh! Here we got it, folks, the final Doc Ock design tier list. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Have you sworn vengeance against my bloodline for where I put your favorite Blorbo? Let me know! And that is a wrap to this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I do really appreciate it. Thank you. Also, do let me know if you guys like this more loose style of narration. I didn't really write a script for this one. I wanted to test out how this style is. So don't be afraid to give your feedback. My special shoutouts this time go to William for helping me make this, and Calvin for making that absolutely great Good, the Bad, and the Cephalopod parody poster at the beginning. Thanks, guys. If I got any of the info wrong here, do let me know. If you know a bit more about this than I do, I was just one person writing and researching all of this, so some things may have slipped through the cracks, but I still try my best. Have a lovely day. This is Kiwi, signing off.